In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you find yourself. You gotta find your people, the ones who make you feel alright. They tell you the truth and they wish you well. You gotta find your people, then you find yourself. You gotta find your people, then you find yourself. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too.
I love you too.
Feel the love in the sanctuary. Hey, lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love.
We're every walk of life. Yes, we are. We're every breed and color. In kinship we unite. It's in honor of the God in each other. So we come together. Yes, we do.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
There it is.
Hey, lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. In the name of love.
Yeah.
Woo! If that doesn't wake you up. Hello, my name is Debbie Ann Vokes, and I am absolutely proud to be a practitioner here at Pacific Coast. Right? And the first thing I'm going to do is to invite up Mary Birch, a beloved fellow practitioner, and Mary is going to bring in the light. And she is going to light this candle for our service. And as I thought about this morning, it reminded me of a quote by Maya Angelou, which goes, "Nothing can dim the light that shines from within." And that light shines within each one of us, and as we leave, we get to share that with the world. Let's read our affirmation together this morning. We rise together as love in commitment to one another and ourselves. We rise together with intention to learn about ourselves and each other. We rise together. Let us pray. Knowing that Spirit is in this house, today and always. Spirit is the life force present in each one of us, and all who experience the love, the light of Spirit as it emanates into the world. As the music team's melodious message is shared, as Jesse's voice is heard, we celebrate oneness, peace, and love. I am in absolute gratitude for what is shared today. Absolute gratitude. And I know this message passes beyond these walls. I give thanks for each one of you, and I ask that you say with me, and so it is.
Welcome, everybody. Hi, welcome to Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. I am Ray Bradford, and I just, on behalf of the entire host team that you see from Sunday to Sunday, welcome. We are so glad that you are here, not only physically in our beautiful space, but also online, watching wherever you are, or watching the service again. If you happen to be here, you can watch it at any time you want. Terry and I have been away for several weeks. We were basking in the awesomeness of spirit of the Tetons in Yellowstone, where God and universal energy is everywhere around you. But I'll tell you, as much as we held all of you in our hearts and we listened to services over the radio from my iPhone, it's just not the same as being here physically with each other. And I think you can relate in any aspect. You can do the homework, you can do the classes, you can do the meditation, but there is something palpably different when we come together physically in community. We are different because each other is here in the room. And so know that whether you're here physically or watching us online, whether you're here not for the first time, or if this is the first time, if something called you, if you were pulled here by a friend, if you're looking for a new community, if you were just called by Spirit to step into this community, either online or in person, just know that we are different because you are here. We are a radically different community that teaches that love is the nature of who we already are. It is not something outside of ourselves that we have to take classes to achieve. As a child of 12-step, I was constantly looking for something that was outside of me, and the difference that making the knowledge of knowing that where I was searching for, what I was searching for, who I was searching for, where I was searching to call home was already inside of us, inside of me, made a huge difference. And so I think that's part of the power of this community, is that we teach that love is already the essence of who we already are, but we're also spirits having a human experience on this world. And there are times when we forget. There are times when external challenges or internal, just stepping away from the path challenges us to remember. And so how do we remember? How do we remember that love is the nature of who we are when we just happened to forget. Well, you're in the right place. Whether you're here or watching us online, for the next 45 minutes, we have many spiritual guides who, through music, through song, through the written word, through a lot of dancing in this space, will remind you of the lessons. So let me first of all, take care of a little bit of housekeeping. First, if you happen to have a cell phone, please, for all of us, put it on vibrate or turn it off for the duration of the service. It keeps not only you, but the rest of us present in case it goes off. And second, if you parked behind somebody in the parking lot, please make sure that you filled out one of the parking forms. Very simply, that way you can enjoy service and post-service, and if somebody needs to leave, the form has your name and your cell phone number, and we can call you, and we can even, Terry over there is very good at moving cars, with your permission. So, and the good news is you only have to fill out that card once. Once you filled it out, then if you happen to park here, then just place it there and then just keep it in your car for the next time. So, as I said, it's wonderful to be back here, and there are many spiritual guides, so let me introduce you to them. First, this morning's speaker is not only one of our most cherished practitioners, but is also a minister in training. And if you've never met him before, you'll instantly be drawn in by his infectious grin and smile that radiates from just this beautiful open heart. And in writing this introduction, it reminded me of a quote, one of my favorite quotes of Ernest Holmes that reminds me of him. It says, "Seek to make your work a prayer, your believing an act, your living an art." And I think he lives through that motto. So today's speaker is our very own Jesse Keeler. Our music director, who you may know, is the wonderful recording artist, Melissa Lewis. Joined by two awesome musical artists, Des Glover and Richard Casangidi. Now, there are many other guides, so let me rattle them off with appreciation and hold your applause to the end, if you don't mind. Our production team in the back of the room, who is critical to this production, is John Broderick, Matt Prophet, and Mark Kiss. Our production coordinators are Dale Mall and Reverend Veronica Silva. Let me introduce you to some very important people, our practitioners. You've already met Debbie Ann Vokes at the beginning of service. Valerie Day, practitioner emeritus, is the meditation and high watch practitioner who hosted the pre-service meditation and is now holding us in high holy watch during service. And providing support, which you met also with the candle, is Mary Birch. Representing our leadership team today is Eileen C. Davis. And coordinating our youth and family team, though you won't see kids after service here on the stage today, they are here in the other building. They're being led by practitioners Wendy Arcala and Gina Overholt. You met, shout out. You also met our welcome team. They greet you over there. They park your car if you want assistance. They give you coffee. They do a whole bunch of things, especially hugs. And so we have some wonderful people on our welcome team. And last but not least, coordinating the beverages and the munchies, whether it's a lot of food or pastries like today and bagels, setting them out, and most importantly, cleaning up afterwards, is our wonderful Floran Limpus and her team. So let's thank everybody. At this time, please welcome up Eileen Davis, who will share some announcements about our community.
Good morning. Is there a song? Oh, I know what they want. Announcements, announcements, announcements. So let's begin by saying our collaboration vision together. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new strategies for a thriving spiritual center. So, before we can be conscious leaders, we must first start with our own conscious living. Once a month, after service, we are discussing the book, 15 Commitments of Conscious Leaders. In this series, our community leaders, including Leadership Council, practitioners, and other team members, will learn and teach some valuable strategies for conscious living. Join us today for a 30-minute chapter review. Rachel and Pam will talk about the chapter titled Our Source of Approval, Control of, and Security. Get a snack and then come back. After service at our annual meeting on September 29th, the leadership team will give you updates, change in board members, new logos, financial status, program updates about spiritual, operational, financial, and facilities. Come and celebrate all we have accomplished. Lunch will be provided. Oops, there's the slide that goes with that. Fundraising starting up. Join our team as they move our financial health up a notch. Have fun and meet new folks. Right now, I'd like to invite up Reverend Bobby.
Hello, whoever said that. Good morning. On October 2nd, Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell-Smith, who is the spiritual leader for CSLs. For those of you that are not aware of how the structure of CSL works, but we all operate as independent centers. We have what's called a home office, and home office manages things like licenses for ministers and practitioners and affiliations, and provides some accredited education. While the centers operate independently, home office has an important role, and they're coming out to have a conversation in this region, and they've asked if Pacific Coast would host that. So Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell-Smith will be coming here October 2nd at 6 p.m. to probably make a presentation at first, and then I'll answer any questions we have about the state of CSL. Side note to that, there are some financial challenges going on at CSL, and we're going to talk about that a little bit next Sunday. Again, and let me just be clear, our CSLs operate very independently. We are required to provide our own financial support, our own space. We do everything here, and they support us with what, like I said, licenses and some accredited education. So Dr. Sonny will be here now. How many of you know Reverend Dr. Sonny Cantrell-Smith? I'm guessing most folks that were at Namaste know her because she became a minister at Namaste Center for Spiritual Living a long time ago, and then went to and created a Hava in Kentucky, CSL, and retired, and then ran for spiritual leader of CSL. That is an elected position, and it represents all of the CSLs. So that's what that is. So if you're interested in what's going on or how this all works, October 2nd, I'll be here, the board will be here, practitioners will be here, but it's for everyone. So thank you. If you have any questions about that afterwards, you heard something, just come on up and talk to me. Adventures in Faith. This is something typically we do every year, and while we were managing this merger last year, we skipped. But for those of you that participated 2 years ago when we first came together to see, could we collaborate? And go figure, we merged. How's that for an idea? We did Stained Glass Spirit 2 years ago, and we had a host of groups, and it was really amazing to come together mixed as one community studying the book Stained Glass Spirit by Tracy Brown. I almost forgot her name. This year, it's a small group study. So this year we plan on having between 8 and 10 groups, 8 to 10 folks. It will be the book of Joy that has been written, well, it's actually Conversations of the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. Super amazing book. It's about how can you have joy no matter what, even when you're struggling. Clarify, joy is not happiness. Just in case you're going, well, wait, how can I be happy in that moment? So it's designed to support our community as we walk through the next couple of months. Anybody know anything important happening in November? My birthday is in November. That's what's going on. Her birthday. Anyway, this is to support us so we can come together and dialogue about what's happening in a place that's safe and supportive. Now, this is what's really important. You can sign up. Interest sheets are available, I'm hoping, and if they're not, someone's going to run up to the office and get them between now and then. And we're going to sign you up. The in-person groups will be here at the center. There will be a few Zoom groups if you feel more comfortable being at home. So there will be groups in the morning, and there will be groups in the evening. So for those of you that say, yeah, I just don't have time, you might want to make some time for this one. Just saying. It's going to be amazing. Our practitioners and our spiritual education team will be facilitating, and they're also designing the curriculum. Very excited about this. Do not miss out. Eileen, I see we didn't do thank yous. Would you like to come back up and do those? Well, I'm going to bring Valerie Day up while Eileen comes back up. Now, I'm bringing Valerie Day up for something that has nothing to do with being a practitioner or a member of this community. You sure spread yourself around, Valerie Day. So we give as a community to nonprofit groups in the Orange County, LA, and sometimes even national level. And each month we give 5% to some group that's doing super good things in the world that we just love. And this month we gave to Su Casa Youth, which is a youth, supporting youth that are experiencing trauma and trouble in the world. And Valerie now works for them. She is their fundraiser. So thank you, Valerie and Su Casa Youth.
Can I say a little about? So, when Eileen told me that you guys were going to be giving to us, that we were going to be giving to us, she wanted me to tell a story about one of our residents. So I want to tell you, I'm probably going to cry. Meet Zion. And this is in his words, he wrote this. I came to Casa Youth Shelter to escape an abusive home. The experience was surreal at first because I didn't have to look over my shoulder anymore, and I could just be myself. What I remember most is the kindness of the staff. In particular, I remember the youth supervisor, Ray, who was the most comforting person in the world to me. Leah, who ignited hope in me and taught me that I don't have to give up. And Kelly, who helped me realize I could trust everyone here. And Anthony, who I had wished was my father, what my father was like. And then the question was, how has your life changed in the times past since you stayed at Casa Youth Shelter? More than anything, I want to share that I am happy. I didn't think I would make it past 16 or 18, imagine that. I thought I would die at home or by suicide. Now I am grateful and happy for the good and the bad. Through adversity, I learned how to brace myself and soldier on. Hope used to be dangerous because wanting led to disappointment, but it is hope that kept me alive. I know my worth now, and I am not going to let anything in my path stop me. So that's what our money is going towards. We serve 12 to 17-year-olds that are either experiencing homelessness, abuse, sex trafficking, and oh my goodness, I'm forgetting our fourth pillar, suicidal ideation. And typically they have 2 or 3 of those when they come to us. And then we provide short-term shelter. Typically they're with us, 3 to 4 weeks, but they can be there up to 3 months, and in special instances up to 6 months. So thank you, thank you. Eileen, not knowing any of this, she brings the fellowship food to Casa Youth Shelter every Sunday. This is so it's a full circle moment.
Thank you, Valerie. It feels so good to be able to give, to share, because we have so much. My thank you is for the wonderful workshop there was yesterday. There were 3 parts. The first part was just some gentle yoga movements, and then the second part was some deep breath work, and the third part was sound bowls and flute and all this. It was Most of us did not think we could drive home because we were floating so high. So the third Saturday of the month, the Circle puts on fantastic things. So start saving your third Saturday on Saturday afternoon, 1 to 3:30 usually. Thank you.
And with that, I invite you to take a deep breath and allow this song to help you sink in. Right here, right now, with every breath I take, I'm letting go, gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now, I'm getting out of my head and dropping into my heart. Right now, right here, right now. With every breath I take, I'm letting go, gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now. I'm getting out of my head and dropping into my heart, and how my mind can turn and twist and spin, just begging for some peace. That's how I know it's time to go within, be still and just breathe. Right here, right now. With every breath I take, I'm letting go, gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now. I'm getting out of my head and dropping into my heart, and with each breath I'll go deeper in this space and ground myself from the peace within this place. I can feel the love, it's flowing all around me. Right here, right now. Yeah, I can feel the love, it's flowing all around me. Right here, right now. Just sit momentarily in this peaceful place, created by the beloved music team. Let's take a nice deep breath together. Today, I am here to talk about peace. And the topic was, are you a dreamer who imagines peace on earth? Initially, when I thought about peace, it seemed to be a broad topic. Peace can mean can mean societal friendship and harmony in the absence of hostility and violence. Peace is commonly used to mean a lack of conflict, such as war, and freedom from fear of violence between individuals and groups. There's psychological peace, such as peaceful thinking and emotions. And peaceful behavior sometimes results from a peaceful inner disposition, known as inner peace. There's a quote by the Buddha which states, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without."
So inner peace defined as a state of mental and emotional calmness, no anxiety, no stress, no worry. It's the ability to remain composed and centered regardless of external circumstances. I want that. I want to go there. So I just put the destination peace in my Maps app on my phone, and I got some interesting results. I can go to East Peace Street in Long Beach in 16 minutes from my house, right? And when I put inner peace, I found that I could go to inner peace, which was in Cary, North Carolina, and I could drive there in 2 days and 15 minutes. That seems worth the drive. So let's explore that essential yet often elusive inner peace. Inner peace for me is a catalyst. It's not a destination, but a journey. For me, it began with the recognition that true peace does come from within, rather than from external circumstances. This realization led me to explore my inner self and to seek a deeper connection with the divine. I learned that when I explore, contemplate, and meditate, and dig deep into my spiritual toolbox, I eventually found a principle known as oneness. Oneness is the recognition that all beings are interconnected and are part of a greater whole. By understanding that we're all part of the same divine essence, we cultivate compassion and empathy towards others, recognizing that harming another is actually harming oneself. The sense of unity and shared purpose that comes from recognizing oneness can bring about a profound inner peace, as it aligns one's actions and intentions with the greater good. In essence, the journey to inner peace is deeply intertwined with the recognition of oneness. This interconnectedness not only enhances personal well-being, but also contributes to a more peaceful and harmonious world. Can you imagine a peaceful world? John Lennon could. He wrote the song Imagine in 1971, when the U.S. was deeply embroiled in the Vietnam War. Do you remember the lyrics? He wrote, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one." Yoko Ono, who was there when the song was written, attested, "It's not like he thought, oh, this can be an anthem. Imagine was just what John believed, that we are all one country, one world, one people." And he wanted to get that idea out. So in conclusion, each person's journey toward inner peace and oneness contributes to a collective ripple effect, fostering a more compassionate, understanding, and therefore a harmonious world. Thank you.
We are here for all of us. We are here for all of us. It's why we are here, why we are here. We are here, bombs over Baghdad, trying to get something we never had. Let's start with a good dad. It's so real, but it's so sad. And while we're burning this incense, we're gonna pray for the innocent. 'Cause right now it don't make sense. Yeah, right now it don't make sense. Yeah, let's talk about Chi-Town. Let's talk about Gaza. Let's talk about Israel. Trade now with Israel. Let's talk about Nigeria and the mass hysteria. Our souls are brought together so that we could love one another, brother. We are here. We are here for all of us. We are here for all of us. It's why we are here, why we are here. We are here. No guns made in Harlem, but yet crime is still a problem. You wanna shoot 'em up, wanna rob 'em, single mother where they come from. How we gonna save the nation with no support for education? 'Cause right now it don't make sense. Yeah, right now it don't make sense. Let's talk about our part. My heart touched your heart. Let's talk about living. Had enough of dying, not what we're all about. Let's do more of giving, do more forgiving, yeah. 'Cause our souls are brought together so that we could love one another. We are here. We are here for all of us. We are here for all of us. It's why we are here, why we are here. We are here. We are here for all of us. We are here for all of us. It's why we are here, why we are here. We are here. We are here for all of us. We are here for all of us. It's why we are here. It's why we are here.
Got the go-ahead, John. I am on. But these guys are really on, right? Yeah. Give it up. You amaze me. I'm so blessed. You ready? Buckle up. Imagine. It's September 22nd, 2034, 10 years from today. You're scanning the headlines about the world news, and the world is celebrating an entire year of peace. Since 2033, there have been no military conflicts anywhere in the world. The news is filled with stories of people helping one another, sharing resources, and resolving conflict without unnecessary suffering. Breathe that in. Imagine that. Can you imagine it? Was it difficult? Futurists, people who make forecasts about the future, say that trying to visualize 10 years out is much easier for us to imagine, as opposed to imagining 3, 5 years, or even next year, because 10 years seems so much further out. So, is there anyone here that doesn't think they have a very good imagination? I would expect that from this group. Not a single hand went up. Not a single hand, yeah, because you're here because you have a great imagination. And I'm sure if you're watching this right now, you have a spectacular imagination as well, because you found us. So, okay, but for a moment, I want to take a look at the human brain, because let's talk about imagination in our brain. So, what we know from brain science is that the seat of our imagination is in the hippocampus. And what we also know is located in the hippocampus is our memory. So, of course, other parts of our brain come into operation there, but that's the seat of it. So what's really interesting about imagination and memory is they're closely related to one another. So have you ever had a difficult time imagining something? I know I have. And when that happens, that's because our brain doesn't have a lot of record of that experience to draw from. So when your brain tries to imagine something that it doesn't have a lot of experience with, it starts to calculate how hard it is to imagine that. And when you think something is unlikely, it's impossible, what's happening is your brain doesn't have a lot of experience with it, so it can't bring up those recollections to create that imagination. Now, I know that on the surface that probably seems like a real downer, right? Because I have to have the memories first. But the good news is that we can practice imagining. And imagining the thing that has never happened. The more you start to practice imagining, the more you strengthen your memory. So you create a future memory, a memory of the future. Does that sound related to anything? Now, as we know from our teaching of New Thought, we have this idea of change your thinking, change your life. And as we change our thinking, we change our perception of our experience. And as our perception of our experience changes, we begin to be able to take different actions. So just breathe that in right now. That's totally empowering. Through our thought, we have the ability to change our experience. Wow. As was just mentioned, John Lennon wrote a song called Imagine. And in that song, there's some lyrics in there, there's a verse in there I find particularly difficult or challenging to imagine. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Now, personally, I love those ideas. But why do I find it challenging? I mean, even though I like the ideas, I was raised in a world and I live in a society that values the acquisition of stuff, having possessions. American society regularly celebrates people who have lots and lots and lots of stuff, right? Billionaires who can build personal rocket ships to travel to outer space. And greed is flaunted. And for all the abundance of food that we have, many people in our nation go hungry. Kids go hungry. Elderly are going hungry. The most vulnerable in our society. I would suspect there's even people within this congregation sitting in this room who are experiencing food insecurity, going hungry. I have never known a world where there were no possessions. An entire society celebrating, sharing, and ensuring that no one goes hungry. So I have the strongest memories that make it challenging to imagine a world without possessions, without greed, without hunger. Does that mean that such a world is impossible? No, right? But it means that my imagination has been limited by my memory. So just taking a deep breath. Emerson wrote, "Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits." I love that quote. Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. I got a lot of bloated nothingness, more often than I'd like to admit. So it's not only our memory that gets in our way of creating these experiences, gets in the way of our imagination, gets in the way of changing our thinking and changing our lives. There's also collective consciousness, which is the things we learn collective, the things that we learn at school, the things we learn from our family, the things we learn from our larger society, the things that we learn from the media. And then there's also this interesting idea that scientists have been talking about is epigenetics, which is the idea that there is ancestral or genetic memory. And they claim that certain behaviors, knowledge, and traits can be passed down from generation to generation through genetic material. That these experiences of our ancestors have been passed down genetically and can influence our behavior right here and right now, even though we've never had direct experience with what they experienced. And all of that has an influence on our imagination and our thoughts. Now, one of my favorite questions I like to ask myself is, who taught me to think that? Like, who taught me to think there will always be war? When I was a kid, we used to play war. We used to play at shooting each other and killing each other. We didn't play peace. I mean, the idea of peace was, it's a nice idea. Sounds kind of boring. And war was the means to get to peace. But do I have to think that warfare is the only way to get to peace, to resolve a conflict? No. Just because I've been spending years, and I mean years and decades at this point, thinking that doesn't make it right. The Dalai Lama wrote, "Peace does not mean an absence of conflict. Differences will always be there. Peace means solving these differences through peaceful means, through dialogue, education, knowledge, and through humane ways." Just taking a deep breath. Sit with that for a moment. What have you been taught about peace? Who taught you that? What do you want to think? Just breathe for a moment. In our philosophy, we don't believe God is out there somewhere. Some old man with a long beard sitting up in the clouds deciding who's naughty and who's nice. And yeah, you're naughty. I know you're naughty. We do not pray to Santa Claus. When we speak of God, we speak of divine source of life, an all-powerful, all-knowing, ever-present entity that is the source of all life. People, plants, animals, rocks, trees, the microbes in the soil, the cells in your body, the planets, the stars, the universe, all life. And this God, this life source is so vast, beyond the limitations of human imagination, that one of the ways that we can comprehend it is by just giving it concepts, by describing it with ideas like love, joy, abundance, freedom, and peace. So when we talk about peace, we're talking about an attribute of the life source of God. When we talk about imagining peace on earth, in essence, what we are talking about is that divine life source right here, right now, ever present, everywhere, and in everything, all around the world. When there is violence and war and the crisis of catastrophe that ensues, that is not God in action. That is us humans separating ourselves from God, separating ourselves from love, separating ourselves from joy, separating ourselves from peace. And let me be clear. I'm not saying that we don't need defense systems. Every body has an immune system. And if that immune system is out of balance, it's not strong enough, or it's too strong, it makes the body sick. So just take a deep breath right now. Desmond Tutu said, if you want peace, don't talk to your friends. Talk to your enemies. I see you laughing, right? That's hard to do. But take that to your heart. We don't need to limit our affirmative prayers, the capacity to create with life source, to green lights and parking spaces, to princes and palaces. We can apply it and allow Source to work through us to create the world we all know is possible. A world filled with love, a world filled with joy, a world filled with freedom and abundance, a world filled with peace. And a world filled with peace starts with each one of us as individuals. You feeling that? Yeah, you know it. You are more powerful than you know. When you free your imagination from the limitations of your memory, you can create, bring into your experience what you thought was impossible. When you open your being to divine source, the source of life, this thing we call God, you let it flow through you. You're not restricted by the limitations of your human imagination, but you are in the imagination of life. And you allow it to work through you as you. We humans like to think that we're gifted with great imaginations, and we are. But how often do we use those imaginations to create more problems for ourselves, worry about things, and create enemies where there were none? I know you're laughing because you do that too, right? But the human imagination is limited in comparison to the creator of life, in comparison to God, in comparison to divine source. When I was taught affirmative prayer, to speak the truth of what I know was to manifest, I was taught to add a phrase, this or something better. This or something better. Because that statement allows me to expand beyond the limitations of my human imagination. It allows me to be in the realm of life source in its imagination and open to the power for good in the universe and allow it to use me. Each of us has been gifted with imagination and free will. So I have a call to action for you. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Your call to action is to start practicing imagining the future to make it more real in your mind. Start creating memories of the future. The future we all know is possible. A world where we're all united by love. So take in a deep breath. Imagine it's September 22nd, 2034. You're scanning the news, and the headlines are celebrating that since 2033, there have been no military conflicts anywhere in the world. The news is filled with stories of people helping one another, sharing resources, resolving conflicts without unnecessary suffering. Can you see it? Do you know it? Is this a memory of the future you want? Oh, yeah. Pacific Coast, you are a blessing, each and every one of you. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity, the honor to come up here and remind you of who you truly are, the divine individuations, each and every one of you, of the one source, the one life, this thing we call God. And thank you. Thanks, sir.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good. Hey, come on, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. Oh, we can decide our fate. And look for the good in everyone. Celebrate our mistakes if there's a silver lining. Hey, well, you still have to find it, find it. Oh, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. Hey, I get lost sometimes in when I forget what I came here to do, I just keep on trying. Hey, when it gets frightening, oh, look for the good in everything. Look for the people, they set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature, everyone is God, everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good, look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good, hey, look for the good. Everyone, look for the heroes living in your neighborhood. Look for the good, hey, look for the good. Oh, life would be so much sweeter if everybody would. Hey, look for the good in everything. Y'all can sing along if you want. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Hey, look for the good in everyone. Hey, look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Awesome. Again, let's give a big round of applause to Jesse Keeler. I just really want to thank him. I mean, there was so much in it, but personally, I just really want to thank you for framing your message in a way that is really at the essence of what the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, is all about. Balancing religious, spiritual tenets and the great faiths of around the world and history with science. And if you can create an imagination of what and a memory of what is yet to come, I mean, that basically is the essence of creative visualization and creative thinking. And it's absolutely. And there's another Ernest Holmes quote that says, "We are chemists in the laboratory of the infinite, so what then shall we create?" I mean, it's as simple and as powerful as that. So thank you, Jesse, for that. Really good. At this time, I'd like to invite the ushers to stand. And the ushers for today are Karen, Donna, Diane, and Florette. So we give you a great, tremendous round of appreciation for stepping up into service. And by the way, if any of you would like to step gently into giving service and seeing what you would like to do for your community, being an usher is a very gentle and very wonderful way to step in and kind of dip your toes, see if it's something that you would like to do. And you can see any member of the welcome team if you'd like more information about that. So this is our time to give and share from our heart and from our pocketbooks to our community, our wonderful Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. It's tithing or sharing or giving is a way that keeps us connected not only to each other, to our community, but also to the world and to ourselves, because the law of circulation is such, and very simply and very powerfully, that as we give, it opens us up to receive. And so it's a wonderful formula that really does all of you good, does our center good, and does a wonderful world of good to ourselves. So let us give and receive with the most expansive consciousness that we have. In that spirit, I invite you to join with me to read this affirmation, because individually we are powerful, but together, as one united voice, we can change the world. So join me together as we read this. We rise together as love for ourselves and our community. We rise as acts of service, generosity, and the expression of our unique talents. As a committed whole, we give this gift today. And there are many, I know the ushers have left, but let me just remind you here, and those of you at home, that there are many different ways of giving. You can use the donate button on our website. You can text an amount to the number on the screen, and you can use Venmo. Now at this point, we'd like to invite the practitioners to stand up. I know I mentioned some of them at the beginning, but if you could all please stand up. They are licensed, as Jesse says, they are licensed to pray by the Centers for Spiritual Living. Please know that these licensed practitioners are here for you. If you would like individual prayer, comfort, support with any of them, either you've seen them, either grab one of them after service or just come after service right over here to the sign that says prayer happens here, and they will find you there. And if for whatever reason throughout the week, either you here in person or watching us online just need a little bit of support, reach out to our website, www.pacificcoastcsl.org, and right on the home page, just scroll down at the very bottom under Contact, there's a button, Request a Prayer. Hit that, and you'll see a form. It's a very powerful way of just reaching out and having an affirmative prayer, having somebody, a community, a practitioner, hold whatever it is that you need support of in consciousness. And one thing that I like to do is I like to request a copy of that prayer. They email it back to me. I print it out, I keep it in my pocket, and it's a wonderful touchstone throughout the day. When I feel a little challenged, just reach in and know that I am not alone in my prayers. There is a community, there is a practitioner holding me in consciousness. That's very, very powerful. And so now I'd like to invite Mary Birch to come back up and to carry our candle out. And as she does this, let's each one of us carry our own light out from today, this magical, wonderful, dynamic, and radiant service that we've all just been a part of. And let us take that light of prayer, of power, and peace out into the world. Let us imagine peace. Let us create the memories that are yet to come. And so right now, as we close our service, I'd like to invite Jesse Keeler back up to deliver our powerful benediction.
You all ready? We ready, John? All right. If you're able to stand, please stand. If you're not able, if you're more comfortable sitting, just sit a little taller in your chair. Shake it out a little bit. Because we got something going on here, don't we? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah? So what do we got going on here? Something wonderful is happening through me right now. And what is that thing that's happening? It's this thing called life. And where is this thing called life? Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are. And what do we do with that thing called life? I accept it. I am it. And I share it with all. And how do we share it? Just the way it appears, and just the way it appears not. All right, I want you to ground yourself, wiggle those toes, get your feet down there, and just feel that energy coming up through you, because you're going to say the most important words you're going to say ever as a prayer. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Thank you, Lord.
Now was the time thought I had to do it all myself, but I didn't know the grace of God. It is sufficient for me, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it all go. Just let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, and I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. I release, I let go, and Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. Faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle and no more strife.